Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I want to talk to you all about cutting weight for a competition. So this is something I've been meaning to do for a long time. I never have, just because I think this is the reason that a lot of people hesitate to talk about acute weight cuts. Just because it's not something that's recommended to most people. It can be dangerous. It is not healthy for sure, but it is done with a very specific purpose in mind from the outset. So I do want to put that disclaimer out there. You know, don't do what I do just because it works for me. It might not work for you. If you don't have a good reason to do it, good reason being like you need to make a weight class in order to qualify for something or to set a record or whatnot, don't do it unless you have, some valid reason. If it's like one of your first times competing, please don't do this. If you want to, lose weight, do so in a healthier manner, in a more maintainable manner, because I'm just going to talk to you about the acute weight cut, which is just a temporary reduction in body weight, meaning literal weight on the scale, not a change necessarily in the way like your body looks. It is not something that is sustainable. It's not something that is going to last a long time. It is not intended to last a long time. It is intended to last for a few minutes while you weigh in, and then you're intended to gain it all back. So that's the point. So just a little disclaimer there before we get started. But I did want to take you along on one of these just because I think it's interesting. As somebody who cuts weight sometimes, I find it interesting to hear what other people do. And so I thought I would share my protocols with you. This is something I found has worked for me in the past. Everybody is a little bit different, so do keep that in mind. Don't try a big water cut your first time. All that jazz. So I have a few things I do to manipulate my weight before a weigh-in. So I'm going to tell you what I did this time rather than sort of go over a general thing. So I'll go over what I did. I'll go over my weights, my body weights, how they have changed. So you kind of have an idea of what's going on. So I normally compete in the 57 kilo weight class, sometimes 63. My walking around body weight naturally is about 59 kilos, 58, 59, sometimes 60. So on average 59. Before I got here, so I'm competing at Bench World Championships here in Austin, Texas. So before I got here, I dieted down from, at my peak, it was about 60 kilos, and then I dieted down to, when I left home, I weighed 54.9 kilograms. So that was my lowest weight, or 54.8, sorry. That was my lowest weight before coming here. So we got here, I was good. I competed on Thursday, May 23rd in the 57 kilo class. I weighed in officially. This was after breakfast and drinking a little bit, not changing anything, at 55.45. So that was my official weigh-in on the official calibrated scale. So that was sort of my starting point. Then to celebrate my success, I won gold in the Masters M1 57 kilo class. So to celebrate that, I had some barbecue with my family. We had snacked on chips in the afternoon and had barbecue for supper. So, and I had consumed a bunch of sodium sort of around the meat just to make sure that I was hydrated and prevent any cramping or anything. So increased sodium, more than normal. I woke up the next morning at 56 kilos. First thing in the morning after going to the bathroom, and I was like, oh no. And I know it's all sodium. Everybody knows, but it was still a little scary to see on the scale, knowing that I had to make 52 in a few days. So anyway, that's that. Then the next day, I went back to like my normal macros. I'm working with a coach. I'm working with Kristen from Dynamic Pursuit Nutrition. So I went back to my normal macros the next day, and then the following morning, okay, so I competed Thursday. Friday morning I weighed 56. Saturday morning I weighed in at 55.5. So, okay, dropped a pound of that extra water. We're okay. And on Friday also I started increasing or paying more attention to my water consumption, water and sodium. So I'd have at least 2-3 of these on Friday. I mixed some electrolyte powder with it. I use the Element salt sticks, or like the powder. Each one has 1,000 milligrams of sodium plus magnesium and potassium. So I do like those. So I was definitely having probably 3 of those a day, 3 or 4. Saturday, I increased my water again. I probably had 3, if not 3.5 of those, these big bottles. This is a 2-liter bottle. And I increased sodium. I think I had 4,000 or 5,000 milligrams of sodium. I'm not super, as you can tell, I'm not super strict about that in terms of like writing everything down. I just sort of, I'm like, hey, I need more water, drink more water, I need more sodium. All right, let's, some Element sticks here, some Element sticks there, and that's, I'm good. So yeah, that was Saturday. Sunday, I woke up again at 55.5. And then Sunday, I increased my water. I tried to get 4 of these, plus other beverages. Like I had a coffee, I had a protein shake. And I increased my sodium to 5 or 6 Element sticks. So that would be like 5,000 or 6,000 milligrams. Also yesterday, I decreased my food volume. So this is what is known as a gut cut, and that is decreasing the volume of food, eating more calorie-dense foods, lower fiber foods. So again, not healthy. So yesterday, all I ate, I had protein shake. I had a gigantic chocolate bar. It's like 200 grams of chocolate. I had a latte with almond milk from this cool cafe I saw, and I had a few like peanut M&Ms. So yes, not healthy, but the actual like weight of the food is not much. So that means there's not a lot of weight of food sitting in my gut digesting. So that's the purpose behind that. So then on Sunday at 4:00 p.m., which is about 36 hours out from weigh-ins, I weigh in at 10:30, I guess, on Tuesday morning. I cut sodium. So I've been drinking, chugging all the sodium, and then at 4 I was like, done with sodium, but still drinking as much water as possible. So right now, this morning, this is Monday morning that I'm recording this. This morning I stepped on the scale. I was 54.7 kilos, which is amazing. I was so happy to see that number. So that means I'm only 2.7 kilograms overweight over the weight limit, what I have to weigh on tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning at 10. So I woke up this morning. I've been drinking water. I've had a liter already, a liter and a little bit. So I'll try to finish this before 10 a.m. It is now, what time is it? 8 a.m. So I've got a couple more hours to finish this. Finish my protein shake, which will be my protein source of the day. And then just like not on chocolate, no water, and that kind of sucks, not being able to drink water. But whatever, temporary. It's for a purpose. So I'm hoping that by tonight I will not weigh very much at all. Like if I can weigh the same amount going to bed tonight, or if I can weigh even closer to 54, that would be phenomenal. Ordinarily, today is also the day I would take a laxative. I use Senna, Senacot, I think is the brand. I've used it in the past. I like it. I'm not using it this time just because I have been quite regular. And sometimes the Senna does leave me a little bit bloaty, especially if I take too much of it. So I'm just actually going to leave it. And I think I'm close enough to weight that it's not that big of a deal. But yes, ordinarily I would take a laxative, and that just, really cleans out any kind of waste that's just sitting in your bowels. But yeah, and then so today, like I said, water till 10, and then just relaxing, low volume foods. I do not cut carbs. Leading into a meet, I'm not trying to deplete glycogen stores. I know a lot of people do. That's quite popular, but in my opinion, I think that would affect performance, and I do not want performance to decrease, to suffer as a result of this. So I actually just eat carbs until I weigh in, and then I eat more carbs after I weigh in. And yeah, I don't reduce calories. I'm not trying to lose real body weight. Like, I'm just trying to lose water. So that's the point of all this. So yes, so the goal tonight, we'll see what happens. All I can control is what I do. My body's going to react to how it does. So hopefully my body will start shedding this water after I finish drinking. And then I'll go to bed. If I can go to bed around 54, that would be awesome. Or at least, close to it. And then if I wake up, I should have only, like 3 or 4 pounds, like 1.5 to 2 kilos that I need to lose, which is awesome. The only other time I competed as a 52 was a few years ago in Lithuania. I woke up in the morning, and I think I woke up at 54.7 or something. So already ahead of the game here. So that's awesome. So my plans for losing the last 1.5 or 2 kilos, I haven't totally decided yet. I guess it depends on how much I have to lose. My options are, I have like all my stuff, and by stuff I mean like I've got like Sweet Sweat, which is like a sweat enhancing gel, or it's like an oil cream thing. I have that with me. I have a sauna suit, which is like I don't even know what the material is like, but the inside is like reflective material, so it heats you up faster. I have that, and I've got lots of layers that I could layer on at home. I was doing a lot of cardio at one point, and I was using that whole setup, and I would sweat so much while still drinking water, obviously, at home. But I sort of did a few kind of trial cardio sessions, and was like 2.5 kilos was not really that much of an issue. So that is an option. That is an option. Another option, depending on how close I am, is just to sit in the bath and sweat. In the bathtub, it's a hot bath. Some people make it like as hot as like humanly possible. I find I sweat more when it's like warm, like quite warm, but not like burning me. It's like pleasantly warm. So, but like not lukewarm. That's my experience. So that's another option, depending on how much I have to lose. I don't know if I would be able to lose, like 2 kilos just in the tub, but if it was like 1.5 kilos, maybe. So I'll keep that in mind. That's one option. Another option. And then there is a sauna in a different hotel. It's not in this hotel. I think it's close. I looked on the map. It looked like it was just a few hotels over. Like where I am now, it's an industrial area, and there's a bunch of hotels, one after the other. So I think it looked like it was there. Somebody from the team went there yesterday and said the sauna was super duper hot. So it didn't need layers or like sauna suit or anything. So that could be an option if I have, like let's say 2 kilos to lose. I'm kind of cheap, so I don't really want to pay the drop-in fee, but but we'll see. I think that would be a really easy way to just drop 2 kilos in like a couple hours. So yeah, those are my options for tomorrow. I am just kind of going to play it by ear and see what my body weight does throughout the course of the day, and then overnight. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, like I said, today the plan, low volume foods. I'm going to try to relax as much as possible, which is hard because there are people at the venue I want to see. I want to see a couple of the sessions today. So I've sort of made a deal with myself. I'm going to go for 3 sessions, one at like, I think it's 12:30, and then I'll come back, I'll rest, and then I'll go for the evening session, because those are going to be the heavyweights, the 120s, the 120 plus men, and then the 84 plus women. So I really want to watch that event. So yeah, that's the plan. Go to sleep early, hopefully. Jason has to go. He's the head coach this year of Team Canada, so he has to go to the banquet. They have the classic banquet tonight. Tomorrow's the first day of equipped lifting. So I've got earplugs and an eye shade, and hopefully he doesn't wake me up when he gets home, because the banquet doesn't start till 8, which is my bedtime. So anyway, yes, I'm rambling now, but I will. One thing I did want to mention before I forget, so this morning, this is something I did this morning. So after I weighed in here, I've been drinking water, obviously, but I got dressed and I stepped on my scale here at the hotel, wrote down my weight, and then I went to the venue. I got a ride to the venue, and without eating or drinking in between. After weighing myself here, I mean. So then I weighed myself here, didn't eat or drink anything, went straight to the venue and checked the meat scale to see if there's any kind of discrepancy between my weight here and the weight there, so that I know, okay, if I leave my hotel at this weight, I will weigh perfect at the venue. So a lot of people bring their scales with them and then put it on the same floor as the meat scale, and then they'll compare that way. I do not do that. I don't believe that is the optimal way, in my opinion. I weigh here because this is how I'm going to weigh in the morning. I'm going to weigh on this floor, the material of this floor, on this surface, and I'm going to have to get to the venue. So that travel time, if any weight is lost in that travel time, I want to account for it so that I know exactly what I'm going to weigh on the scale at weigh-ins. So it was actually very close. It was like 0.05, if that. Like the weigh-in scale measures to 100th of a kilo, and it was like going between 0 and 0.5. So I guess it weighs to a 500th of a kilo. But so it was like between there, and so my scale's like 0.05 maybe under. So that is good to know, so that tomorrow morning when I leave the hotel, if I weigh 51.9, I should be good. So yeah, so that is just one more thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, so that is it for right now. I'm going to go about my day, finish this water. My mouth is actually a little dry from talking so much, so I'm going to try to finish this in the next hour and 50 minutes, and then no more water. But this is fun. It'll be good. I feel very confident after weighing in what I weighed in this morning. I think I'm in a good place. I'm not worried about it. Just have to do the thing. All right, so I will catch up with y'all later. If not today, then tomorrow I will show you how I lose that last little bit, give you some updates on the weight, and I'll see y'all then. All right, good morning, everyone. It is meet day. I'm just being really quiet because Jason is still sleeping, but I just woke up, I woke up at about 4:30, and then I've just been lying in bed and catching up on what I missed at the banquet yesterday. We won some team awards in Classic, which is super cool. The Classic banquet was last night, so they handed out the awards. And the M1 women in Classic won gold, so that is super cool. So I'll probably be getting a medal later, so it's a little bonus medal. But yeah, anyway, I just woke up. Like I said, I'm going to check my weight, and we're going to see what we're working with in terms of what we need to do for this last bit of the water cut. So, moment of truth. Here we go. See what we're working with this morning. All right, 54 kilos. Okay, so we're weighing in at 54 kilos this morning. So that means we have 2 kilos of water to cut. Yeah, I think the plan is that we're probably going to do the sauna, just because it will be the quickest and less, it will require less effort from me physically. Like, it won't be as draining as like cardio to lose that weight. So I think that's the plan. I'm gonna get all my sweating stuff together. Hopefully Jason will wake up soon, and then we can head over, sauna, and yeah, go from there. All right, so we are just about to head over to the sauna, get a little sweat on. I weighed myself just now again, and I was 53.9, so somehow just walking around lost an extra 100 grams, so that's cool. Okay, so I'll start probably from the first layer and work my way out. So it's a sauna, so I'll have a swimsuit on, which I've packed out of frame, but anyway, swimsuit. Then I will put this sweet sweat on my entire body. This is just like a sweat enhancing like oil essentially. It's like a stick, but it's oily, but just encourages blood flow and sweating. So I like to use this. Then, I have this sweatband. This is one from the same company, from Sweet Sweat. And it's just like neoprene and wraps around your body and secures with Velcro. Also, helps sweating. Then I have this neoprene suit. It's just like shorts and just has straps. So same deal as the little waistband. Then, I think this is the next one then, just have some compression socks. They're more useful when I'm doing cardio, just from the compressive effect, but I like them because they catch sweat from just like going into my shoes if I'm exercising, if I'm wearing shoes. Obviously I won't be wearing these in the sauna. I'll just be wearing this stuff in the sauna. So this stuff is just extra stuff I'll probably wear on the walk over. And then obviously take off and just wear this in the sauna. I've heard it gets very hot, so I won't want to wear all the layers. And then I have, then I'll wear, as I say that, I'll wear these in the sauna. So this is just a sweatband, one for my head and two for my wrists. Because again, I don't like sweat dripping in my eyes or just down my hands, I don't like that feeling. So I do like to wear these. And yes, next layer, I have the top also. I'm just gonna unfold the pants. So they're just like thermals, essentially, and they just soak up the sweat. Here's the top, long sleeve top. Got this little neck warmer thing. I'll wear it, get hot. And then this is pretty cool. I just got this a few months ago and I really like it. This is my sauna suit. So these are the pants. The inside material is like reflective like this, so it does increase temperature. And I find it really, really does help with sweating. And this is another reason I like wearing the tall socks and the sweatbands around my wrists, because when you start sweating, it's like flowing out of you, and like especially when I'm like running and sweat's running down my arms, it's gross when it's like spurting out of the like sleeves. So I love having the sweatbands for that reason, and the long socks also, so sweat's not just like coming out the bottom onto my shoes and the treadmill and stuff. So so I've got the pants, and then I have the top also. Same idea, same material. So I'll be wearing this on the walk over to the gym, plus just some sweatpants over top, plus a sweatshirt over top. So I should get a good sweat going on the way to the gym, or on the way to the sauna, I guess. So I'm 53.9 right now. Goal in the sauna is to lose probably 1.5 kilos. I don't necessarily need to go all the way down to 52 in the sauna itself, just because, the walk back, it's pretty hot outside. I'll probably sweat a little bit on the walk back. I will have a bath when I get back. I like it. It's relaxing, but I'll sweat a little bit there. Then I should make 52 in, the time is 5:30. I weigh in 5 hours, so I've got 5 hours to lose 2 kilos. Let's go do it. All right, so as you see, I made it into the sauna. There's a bit of a kerfuffle at the front desk. The person working night shift didn't know how to issue day passes. I guess it's just after 6, but and the next shift changes at 7, and there aren't too many requests for day use passes for the sauna at 6 in the morning, typically. But anyway, we got a really nice security guard who was able to let us in, on the condition, obviously, that we pay when we leave, which is totally okay. So I just got into the sauna. Haven't really started sweating yet, but that's okay. I just hear Jason's outside. He's listening to some, I don't know, watching reels or something, so I hear the music. But yeah, Jason is here to sort of make sure that I'm okay, which is nice because in Lithuania, which is the last time I cut to 52, I was all by myself and I was feeling pretty lightheaded by the end. So I'm very grateful that he's here to look out for me. But yeah, hopefully I'll start sweating soon. I feel like I'm sweating around the midsection already. So it's starting. Yeah, I feel like I'll lose like 1.5 kilograms. I'll get down about 1.5 kilograms. I brought my scale with me. And then, yeah, like lose that last pound or so in the room and on the walk back. But yeah, here we are, we're getting it done. There's Jason, he's outside on his phone, making sure I'm okay. Next to, and guarding my stuff, there's my scale on the ground. All right, so we are on our way back from the sauna. It is like 8:40, I think. So I was in the sauna for about 2 hours. A little worse for wear, I don't know if you can tell, but after my last time in the sauna, it was really slower than I had anticipated for sure. After the last one, I got out, weighed in 52.2. Then I went to the bathroom and then felt a little nauseous. So I just sat for a bit, sweated a little, and 51.9. So we're back to the hotel. This is the flooring I was weighing, as you saw, to compare my scale with the meat scale. So let's see, as long as if I'm 51.9 here, I'm golden. Otherwise, I'll be at least very close, and I would just sit in the bath for a bit. But and if I'm way under, yeah, maybe I can drink just a little bit, or have an ice cube or so. But yeah, that was a long morning. Oh, and what was super cool is apparently, like in a couple days on Thursday, there's some kind of UFC or MMA event. So there's some fighters actually cutting weight, and I sat in the sauna with one of them and I was asking him some weight cutting tips. So he gave me a couple, so I wrote them down. I can try them next time. But yeah, he was really nice. He was really friendly, really helped pass the time. And Jason was here. He sat outside the whole time, made sure I didn't die. He's walking back with me right now to make sure I get home safely. So yeah, all right. Catch up to you guys in a bit. Okay, let's see. Oh, it still says 52.2 here. All right, so I'm just waiting to weigh in now. Made it to weigh-ins. Yeah, it was quite a morning. As you saw, I got to 52.2 when I left the sauna, and then when I got back to the hotel, it was the same. So I sat in the bath for a little bit. I did like chewing candy and spitting, but that I wasn't really producing a lot of saliva. So I was sweating in the tub though. So when I got out of the tub, I was 51.6, and then I checked a little while later and I was 51.9. So I'm hoping, I don't know why it was changing. My weight, like the scale's been pretty consistent throughout, but now, of course, when it matters, it's kind of weird. So fingers crossed. I still have a few people to weigh in. Of course, I'm like one of the last to weigh in. I think they're doing it in order like of M4, M3, M2, M1. So of course I'd be one of the last, and people seem to be taking quite a while. And of course it's because I'm just like, I wanted to get it over with and drink, and hopefully I'm on weight. I should be, but yes, we'll find out in a few minutes. Oh, I'm very thirsty. I know I'll feel better once I drink, but I'm just tired. So I just want step one of this competition day to be done, which is to make weight. So catch up with y'all when I'm done. So this is what the little area looks like to weigh in. So I can't zoom in on this camera, but there are two Japanese lifters in black, and they're waiting to weigh in. So that's where the door is. They must be up next. So yeah, just waiting my turn. All right, so officially weighed in, 51.85 kilograms. So we did it. Step 1 complete. So yeah, I weighed in a few minutes ago. Immediately chugged like a 2-liter container with 4 grams, I should say, of sodium. Put a couple like salt packets down, just straight. Yeah, so now we're just letting that liquid settle a little bit. It's really cold in here, so yeah, very much of a change from like the hot sauna. It's like freezing AC, but anyway, yes. So chugged all the drinks. I'll have a little bite to eat. And what time is it? It is, got to start warming up probably in like half an hour. So yeah, a little time to digest and settle. And yeah, so step 1 done. And yeah, now to perform, now to actually to do the actual thing. So I will catch up with you all a little bit later.
Big pop from the crowd for Maria Frank, Canada. She lifted earlier in the week too.
Yeah, she's very, very good in the classic.
She was in the 57 kilo class there. She won the 57s. She's down in the 52s here, opening with 115.
If I remember her weigh-in, she weighed in at 53 or something like that.
55.
55 was, so
yeah.
she's managed to...
And she's cut to 51.85 today. I think she's had some particular records, maybe national records she had in mind for those weight class selections.
Yeah.
And that was an easy bench.
Certainly was.
She is going to be hard to catch now.
Very easy.
Yeah, I think she's pretty much locked that away. She can run her own game now.
Great descent, perfect touch, great press.
I mean, for myself, that's a big area I've been working on for my own lift, is getting the descent quicker.
Now we have a world record attempt in the M1s. It's Maria Frank. Opened at 115, gone up to 130.5. That would seem a ludicrous jumping roll, but that's fairly normal.
Yeah, that's right. And look, you know, her opening lift put her so far out in front. She gets to play her own game now. She gets to do whatever she wants. She can have a crack at a record without risking anything.
And that record currently belongs to Kaori Nagaya Shirakawa and was set in 2011.
Wow. That has been around a long time.
That must be one of the most long-standing records in the IPF, because that was the year the weight classes changed, wasn't it? So here we go, world record on the bar for Maria Frank. And she's edging it up. Oh my word.
There.
I thought that was done and done.
Unfortunately, 3 reds.
But she gets another go.
That's right. She has the opportunity to run her own game now.
Oh, there it was.
Yep.
Dip, yeah. Wasn't as obvious from the quarter side on. Yeah, real shame. So here we go. Maria Frank is going to have another crack at that 130.5.
That's fantastic. She's going to need all the support from the crowd she can get.
I must admit, I was a bit disappointed when I saw that she'd scratched, because I think she's got the capability to do this.
Oh, absolutely. She has the capacity to do it.
But lining it up all just exactly right in this one lift, it's a tough job.
Oh, good press off the chest.
Lock it.
Wall. She gets it there. I think it's okay.
It went in stage.
Oh, no, the referees have
and
said
it's
no.
3 reds, so you can't protest.
What a big effort, though.
So let's see that back from...
Stick around. We're going to get to the
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It did dip. Ah, what a shame. But, you know, I think she'll get that next time out.
Absolutely.
She really wasn't far off.
52 kilo Masters 1 division. And your gold medalist lifting 115 kilos from Canada, Maria Frank. And I ask that you would all rise, remove your caps for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem. Congratulations, ladies. Lead them out, Peter. Let's hear it one more time for our Masters competitors.
Okay, so meet recap. So I have already just shown you all my clips from the meet. So you know that I made my first attempt. I missed the world record twice on my second and third attempts. And but I still came out with the win. I still came out winning the gold medal by a pretty substantial margin. That's the meet. Meet recap done. No, so last time I talked to y'all, I had just weighed in. I weighed in at 51.85. And I was rehydrating. I had that 2-liter bottle filled with 4 element packets, so 4 grams of sodium, 4,000 milligrams of sodium. And after I weighed in, I was drinking, and then I just sat down in the warm-up room and drank and drank and drank and drank. Filmed a little update, drank and drank and drank. I had just some rice, like those microwave bowl cups of rice you get. I microwaved that there, put a bunch of salt on it. I had a McDonald's double hamburger from the night before that I warmed up, and so that's what I ate. I ate the hamburger, just shoveled the rice in, drank all that salt water, essentially, and I had to let it settle, because that was, I didn't really have an appetite, but I knew that I needed to eat, and I obviously needed to rehydrate. And so that all, you know, let's say it took about 45 minutes or half an hour to get all that down. So I stepped on the scale just out of curiosity, and I weighed 54.6 kilograms, like 45 minutes after weigh-in started. So I did have a later weigh-in in the order. So let's say half an hour after weigh-in started, I weighed almost 3 whole kilograms more than I weighed in at. So that's good. That is a win for sure. In my opinion, the rehydration, the recomp post weigh-in is super crucial, especially with a 2-hour weigh-in. You have to get everything in to get your body weight back up as high and as close to your regular body weight as possible, as quickly as possible, right? Because there is only limited time. So, yeah, I think that was pretty successful. After I ate all that, I just had some pre-workout. I think I also mixed another element packet in with that, just, you know, to make sure, to make extra sure. You know, the last thing you want to do is cramp on the platform. So, yeah, so that was that. I started warm-ups. Once I warmed up a little bit and the food had digested, I felt really good. I didn't feel like weak or off or anything, or tired even. I felt fine. So that was good. We did lower my opener to 115. Initially, I put in 120, but the goal going in, or like the plan, I should say, going in, was to open light. And by light, we thought 120 initially, but, you know, we just to make extra sure, 115. And then, so get your opener on the board. Because I was nominated so much higher than the other 2 women in my category, I knew that if I made my opener, I would likely win. So, yes, I made my opener, and then I jumped to the record at 130.5. Now, I've hit this in training millions of times. I've hit way more than that, millions of times. But leading into Worlds, I did have one very rough session a couple weeks ago. And I think the weight cut, you know, the diet was maybe starting to get to me. With the bench shirt to a smaller body size, can affect the way the shirt fits, and then the way the shirt is able to assist the lift. So when my coach Natalie saw the video, she was watching the live stream, she noticed that I didn't necessarily have a lot of pop off the chest, and that could just be because I was smaller. And, you know, whether that's just because of, you know, my body size is smaller, or also the water cut. You know, I can drink all the fluids I want, but until they get into the muscles and like really fill out all the cells in my body, you know, it doesn't help to have a stomach full of water. It needs to be in my body. So maybe it just didn't have enough time to fill out everywhere yet. But yeah, I was disappointed that I missed my record. I was definitely very disappointed. Since last year, since Sun City in South Africa, that had been my goal. When I saw the record for the 52 kilogram class was 130 kilos, I thought, I can do that. So I often can do that, but on the day of competition, I could not, apparently. I did press it. I did finish the lift twice, but they weren't clean lifts. And I knew it. I knew while I was pressing, like, this isn't clean, and there's probably some up and down. And yeah, so that is what it is. I finished the lifts, and I was still kind of hopeful maybe they looked better than they felt, but no, they didn't. And I know also that with the world record, the world record has to be perfect. It has to be technically perfect, even more so than a regular lift. Like, the refs really have to scrutinize a world record because it's a world record, right? It has to be up to the standard of judging, right? Yeah, so it was disappointing. Not that I didn't get the lift, but that I didn't perform the lift. Definitely a bummer, just because that had been in my mind for so long. I'm still upset about it, if you can tell. Just with myself, with my own performance. Yeah, I know that is how sports go, especially with equipped lifting. Sometimes there is no explanation. You know, maybe the water cut and the weight cut had nothing to do with it. Maybe it was just an off day. Those happen sometimes. It is what it is. You know, that's the point of sports also, of any sport really, is that you have to perform on the day. And everybody can have an off day. You know, the best athlete of any sport can have a bad day, but it's how you perform in competition. That's why, you know, you don't go by nominations. You have to actually compete and do the thing. So, yeah, that's sort of how that day finished. Sort of, you know, it was positive in so many ways. I won gold. I won my second gold. You know, I got to stand on top of the podium, hear my anthem played. My family was in the crowd. It was, that was so amazing that they came all the way to Austin from Canada. All of my siblings, except one who's a teacher, so he, you know, can't really get away from work during the school year. They were all there. They were in the audience. They had these like Canada flag cowboy hats, and yeah, they cheered so loudly for me every time I went out. So that was, it was so special to know, you know, that I had the support in the audience. That was so cool. And actually that lift snagged me second best lifter overall across all weight classes in the Masters 1 age class. So yeah, across all weight classes in that age class. So that was really cool. So yeah, a lot of wins. but I missed my big win, you know, like that was my big goal. So that's what still kind of stings, but I will get over it. You know, it's fuel to keep going and to nail it next time. I am like so fired up. I've been back a week, so I've had a week of training, a full week of training behind me. That week was no equipment, no shirt, so that was really, like, it was fine. I'm like so detrained from like not training for like essentially like 3 weeks, it feels like. I did like a couple random sets of squats while I was in Austin, a little bit of bench, but like for the most part it was just like competition days, and then like sitting around cheering on friends and eating barbecue with like Oreos. So it was awesome. It was so much fun, but I was like so sore last week, especially like I wasn't even done my day 1 squats, and like my hamstrings were like, ouch. So things are starting to get better now that I'm like back in the swing of things. But I was still a little sad I couldn't get into my shirt, because I'm like so keen to improve now. Like that is such motivation, like such a fire has been lit. And my next meet is actually not that far away. So my next meet will be the North American Powerlifting Federation Championships in Scottsdale, Arizona on August 9th, 2024. That's my next meet. I will be competing as a 52 again. That is the plan. My weight's up a little bit since Texas. Not too much. It was not up too much when I first came home, and then like the last couple of days it's like up a whole kilo randomly. So I don't know if that's just like soreness, like my muscles are like inflamed, and who knows. But anyway, I have 8 weeks, so I'll get back down. Hopefully closer, well, not hopefully, I will be closer to 52 this time in terms of body weight, so that I can, so that I can train at a lower body weight in my equipment, so that I know how that feels, because I think that is something that I could have done better in preparation for Worlds. My cut to Worlds, my body was sort of stubborn in terms of dropping body weight. So the last like 4 or 5 weeks were like crunch time. I had to get from like 58 and a half to like whatever I weighed, 54.9 or 54.8 in like a short time. And that's a lot for me, for somebody of my body weight, to drop like 4 kilos in like 4 weeks or whatever it was. It was not, it was hard. I did it, but I think that drastic of a cut, it didn't give me any time to practice in my shirt at that body weight, right? So I think that will help going forward, is to train at weight closer to the meet. I'll still have to do a bit of a water cut. The goal is not to get to 52 exactly, just because, I mean, it still is a very light weight for me. Like 54 is even quite light. Like I'm quite lean at 55 even. So yeah, so the goal is to diet down to 54, be there at least a few weeks before the meet, so I can train at that body weight. If I need to take, let's say, the sleeves of my shirt, if I need to take them in a little bit, that's how you adjust a shirt. Typically is you make the sleeves a little tighter, and that sort of makes it fit a little better and gives you more support off the chest. So yeah, if I need to do that, I can do that with enough time to get used to that. So that's the goal. Another thing I learned that I think I might have done wrong this time is, this time I cut water. So normally I cut water 18 hours out. This time I cut water 24 hours out, because I had more weight to lose than I typically do. Like when I compete 57, I usually only have to lose like 2 kilos total, like 1.5 to 2 kilos total. So that includes the gut cut, sodium cut, water cut, blah, blah, blah. And this time, before I started all that, I had almost 3 kilos, right? So that's substantially more. And then as percentage of body weight, you know, as a 52, competing as a 52 versus a 57, like that's 52 is a much smaller person. So, so yeah, I think that I could do better going forward. I think I would, if I were to do it again, I would choose to cut water later, and maybe I don't know. Maybe that's the reason I wasn't sweating quite as much. Maybe my body was holding on to water in the sauna. Yeah, who knows? But anyway, hopefully that will not be an issue for Arizona. I have a better plan. I am motivated as heck. That record, and Arizona, I've actually got a few goals. Maybe I'll share them with you in another video. But definitely that the bench record is a big goal of mine. Get that redemption, and also it's important for me to get this record as soon as I can, because you know the weight will always be there, but will the record always be there? I don't know. Especially with this being an age class, someone just needs to turn 40. If someone else turns 40 this year who's very strong, or if someone else turns 40 next year and ages into the M1 class who's very strong, they could take the record and bump it up so far that it's out of reach, right? Like I know that records are meant to be broken. So if and when I make this record, I know it won't last forever. I know I'm not the strongest human being in the whole world, that there are a lot of people in the open class who are stronger than me. So once they turn masters, they'll probably, take these records. So that is why I sort of have this sense of urgency that I want the record now. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble again. So I just wanted to give you a recap of the meet, let you know how everything went, some reflections, some things I might have done better, things that I will do better going forward, and sort of what's next for me. So I will have another shot at that record. I will get that record. It will be mine. But yeah, overall, it was a successful meet. I did make weight. It was harder than I thought it would be. I was leaving the sauna and it was like walking back to our hotel, which it was not that far, but like I was kind of hurting. I was walking pretty slow. I wasn't feeling too hot. So yeah, but I did make it, and I did rehydrate to the point where I felt fine. I felt good, but just the performance was not there on the day for who knows, maybe a multitude of reasons, maybe one reason, who knows. So anyway, that's where things are. I hope you've enjoyed following along with me. I hope you've enjoyed seeing sort of my process behind the water cut leading into a meet. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or feel free to like DM me on Instagram or whatever. I'll be happy to help and advise as I can. Like I did mention at the beginning, I didn't make this video to try to like glamorize a water cut. It's not ideal, but it is something that a lot of lifters do, especially when they have big goals like this. They need to make weight for a specific reason, like, for example, to break a world record, or to attempt a world record, I should say, or, make a national team or qualify or whatever. So I just wanted to share my process with you. Everyone has a slightly different process, but I always think it's interesting to see what other people do, so maybe you thought it was interesting to see what I do. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for your support and well wishes for competition, and I will see you all next time. Bye!